from the Supreme Court. Daniel Imperato, 2024, spoke earlier on Capitol Hill. Now we're going to move it to the Supreme Court of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today again in Washington, D.C. for part 2 on the Supreme Court of the United States. I can't believe today that all I listen to on the television is voting for dead people, whether it's an abortion pill or a 6-week pregnancy, which is now what Ron DeSantis and DeSantimonious has done in Florida, or it's people shooting in the street and people dying from guns. So what are we all about? Where's America? Where's the Supreme Court? What's going on at the Supreme Court with Clarence Thomas, the Justice Thomas, and Justice Roberts, and all the payments and the problems? Our principles and our morals are gone. Our constitutional court is gone. The only constitutional court we have is right here in the Supreme Court of the United States, where only 1% of the cases get heard, including my case, the one that I filed as a cert against the Securities Exchange Commission pertaining to my right. Very simple constitutional question. Do I have a right to a trial by jury? I was denied that right. It took me years and years and years to fight through the federal court, the appellate court, the federal court, the appellate court, and finally I got to the constitutional court here, which is the Supreme Court. I will say that Clarence Thomas did take my cert, but they didn't hear it. And it was very simple. Do I have a right to a trial by jury under the 7th Amendment of the United States Constitution? I was denied that right. I was even denied the right to even go in a courtroom. I even caught the magistrate judge, which we'll get into later, in West Palm Beach, Florida, the very same magistrate justice courtroom and the subsidiary of the justice, which is the magistrate, that issued the warrants to go into Mar-a-Lago and search Mar-a-Lago. The same identical judicial chamber from the same magistrate chamber issued a warrant from a magistrate judge and not even a senior judge. Why? What's going on in our courtrooms? I had a magistrate judge that never heard me, never even took the time to listen to my evidence, charged me with crimes that I didn't do, that I had nothing to do with. And when I questioned the magistrate who wrote an order and said that the order had merit pertaining to my rights and pertaining to my evidence that I submitted when I got in front of the court, the only hearing I had, the magistrate judge denied, Magistrate Hopkins denied that he even signed the order. And then they slapped on me penalties pertaining to filing, and I couldn't file any more documents because I caught them. I caught them with their finger in the cookie jar. And Hopkins then resigned. And when I went back to the U.S. federal court, the clerk said to me, Mr. Imperato, they made a lot of money off of you. I had 2 insurance cases. I've never been in front of a court. They denied me my rights to have a trial by jury in an insurance case against Navigators Insurance Company, in an insurance case against Hartford Insurance. Both insurance companies lied. Both insurance companies took my constitutional rights away, and both insurance companies denied payment based upon false evidence. And here we are, the Supreme Court of the United States. Where are we, America? The courts are supposed to know the Constitution. The judges in the judicial system are supposed to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States. In this particular example here in the Supreme Court of the United States, the Constitution of the United States is not being heard in any court except this court, but only in very high-level cases, as we have today with the Dominion case, which they're ruling on. I think it's tomorrow. People, we have to elect the judicial system and judges that are going to uphold their Constitution. And I do believe there should be term limits in not only the representatives in the Congress and the political people, but also in the judicial system. It's out of control. The judges, as I've been told, they're like God. Whatever they say goes. I'm actually heading back to Florida for a case, my own case, pertaining to my own stepson, where the father of my stepson, like your son and her son and his son, my son, was stolen from my wife 14 years ago. The father disappeared. When we went to the court and we fought, We weren't able to even get in a courtroom. The father of the child went back to Europe, took the child. We couldn't serve him papers. 14 years ago, 12 years now has passed. We even got a mandate from the appellate court where there was further proceedings. And the court itself, the lower court, the 17th Circuit Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ignored the mandate from the appeals court. Ignored it. They didn't effectuate it. And when we brought it back to the court, the appeals court didn't even protect what they wrote and issued in a mandate. It's out of control because there's too much bribery, there's too much posturing, and the corporation that was behind this was Regis Corporation, the corporation that you pay rent to if you want to open an office up, and one of their employees who worked for them, who was here on an EB visa, who's responsible for 10 years for the liability of that employee. They're going to get there soon. But what I'm saying is, after all this time and pain and suffering, the father now comes to collect child support when he disappeared for 12 years. 12 years, not one word from the child. My wife is distraught. I'm distraught. I cannot believe that the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, the sanctimonious, the guy that wants to be your president, his government is so messed up, the state of Florida doesn't even know what day it is. They even took money from my account, disgorged money from my account after proving to them that I had nothing to do with this child pertaining to the separation of the parents. And they still ignored the state constitution and the state statutes of what they call a joint account, a tenants and entirety account, and they took my money out of my account. And Ron DeSantis wants to run this country. The state of Florida, when I got involved, I called and called. I wrote to the Attorney General. I wrote to Ron DeSantis, and I told them all, if you don't arrest this man under the state constitution and the statutes of the state of brainwashing and alienating a child, which is a 6th-level crime and a 3rd-degree felony, which has been increased to a 1st-degree felony now. And Ron DeSantis, the mamas in Florida, they voted him in. Well, he's not a mama's lady. He's just a man who wants to become a good-looking pocketbook. And his Minnie Mouse got beaten up by Mighty Mouse in Disney, who's one of the biggest employers in the state, who's bringing in revenues for the state. And what's the governor want to do? Pick a fight with Disney. When he can't even pick a fight to protect his own state. The state's in trouble. The condominium associations' costs have gone up. The rents are double. People are living in the street. Florida is in trouble. I ran as governor of the state of Florida. I'm the one that put Florida first. I'm the one that stated that. I'm the one that coined that term, not Donald Trump. Daniel Imperato. I'm the one in 2006 and 2007 running for president of the United States. I was labeled the people's president, not Donald Trump. If you read the 100 and something press releases written by me of every hotspot in the world, these people who run for president don't even know what the world is. I'd like you to ask each and every candidate when they speak about whether it's the Ukraine or Israel or Lebanon or China or Korea or Brazil or Chile or Argentina or Mexico or even the United States, California, Alaska. Have you ever been there? Do you even know the customs, the culture? Do you even understand what's going on between the Palestinians and Hezbollah and Israel? Do you even understand what's going on between Russia and the Ukraine? Do you even know what the Vatican does? Do you even understand the Catholic Church? Do you even understand the power of the Holy Ghost? Do you even understand pastors like Benny Hinn and T.D. Jakes? These people are men of God. I'm a man of God. I pray every day to the Lord to give me the ability to help the people. I'm calling on you, and I'm asking our Father in heaven to give me this opportunity. I know that I can do this job. When you talk about a man of the world, I've been visited over 150 countries. I spent my life learning the world. Walaka bibi kif halak alhamdulillah. Manishma miza. Wakarimas arigato. Si habla español. Si le parla italiano. E falo di portuguese. You have to be a man of the world to know the world. Joe Biden, our president, he's bided time. Tony's blinking, and Washington says Joe must go. Trump, dump, and DeSantimonious, he cannot run this country. God bless him, God bless his family, but he doesn't have the experience and the knowledge and the wisdom to navigate the world, especially this Supreme Court of the United States, where now they're talking about the abortion pill. Let me tell America something. Either you're dead or you're alive. So either it's abortion or no abortion. Whether it's the pill, whether it's the abortion pill, whether it's an abortion itself, whether it's the pill you take every month for the poor women that have to go through that, it's all the same. So the use of this political football to become elected as the United States president is a disgrace. And when you think about women's rights, yeah, they have rights. They're the ones that have to bear the consequence. And I ask, where's the men? Where are the men that impregnate the woman, that leave the woman all alone to have to bear the difficulty? And what about the after effects? Has anybody even thought about what a woman has to go through after she goes through that terrible situation that she has to decide life or death? I ask the American people, set aside these minute, how should I say, not immaterial, but almost immaterial issues. Our country is in a lot of trouble. Our Supreme Court's upside down. The justices are taking gifts. There's problems going on in the White House. The government's not working. Where's the results? And Joe Biden, yeah, we're gonna make America great again with Trump, and then we're gonna go ahead and build back America. Where's the results? There's $31 trillion. We have no more retirement fund. We're going to lose it. America, please, let me help you. Help me. I beg you. Just listen to me. Read the record. Read my resume. Know who I am. And I already know who you are. And I'm just like you. Pain and suffering every day. I need to do something to help your pocketbook, to help your family, to help us restore what our founding fathers and our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents fought for. Freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Supreme Court of the United States must take responsibility, and there must be a special board, which I recommended, pertaining to the review of constitutional cases where it's clear where a constitutional right has been denied in a lower court. It's got to stop. And we, the people of the United States, must stand up, and we must demand that the elected officials do their job and bring results, not talk with the hyperbole in the mouth, because there are no results. Just look at the debt ceiling today. They're in New York with McCarthyism, talking about the debt ceiling. It's disgraceful. America's the leader of the world, but not for long. We need to, yes, bring back jobs. Yes, build our infrastructure. But we need to reprogram. We need to cut our government. And if I ran as a Democrat, I would be the most conservative Democrat that ever came in line with the Democrats to be a Democratic president. And if I ran with the Republicans, I would cut their programs pertaining to their lobbying and their special interest groups and the fact that they're electing politicians that have things to say that have no meaning. It's all blah, 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 blah. Please, America, I'm an independent, but I may have to choose a party in the next days because I can't be your president without it. But I ask all the independent voters and all the independent-minded people and all the voters in the Democratic and the Republican parties that are fed up to take action and join Daniel Imperato, the rapper. Revive America's prayer again, and we will restore our strength and our leadership in this country. If we don't, the BRIC nations are going to pour the mortar, and America will fall. God bless you. I hope not. I pray not. And I ask you people, please take the time to know me and at least give me that chance. God bless you. God bless America. God bless our troops. And pray, God, to restore our favor in this world.